Sounds great.
Okay, it's 5:30. We'll call the meeting to order. Let's honor our flags. First, United States flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. And Cheyenne will lead us in prayer.
God, I thank you so much for this beautiful day. I thank you for our school and our kids and our everyone that works here. Father, I just pray that you would be with us as we make decisions tonight. I pray that we would always honor you. And Lord, I pray that you I thank you for our band, for the success that they were. I pray that you bless those kids and that you be with our football players this weekend and that you would just give them your favor. I just pray that you bless our coaches as well. And we just ask all these things in your precious and holy name. Amen.
Student spotlight.
Well, we were going to have Ray Sean and all the linemen come here, but they're off eating. No, they're practice. They're still practicing, and so we will honor them at next month. I wanted to take a moment to tell David how sorry we were about his mom passing away. David's mom was 95, and but David's been a good part of our board meetings, and we're glad he's here tonight. And I know it's a sad time, but he's getting through it as best he can. I will give a few student updates before we go to our staff spotlight, but yes, all of our programs are doing really well. Of course, band, we will honor them at some point a little bit later. Scored the highest they've ever scored. They were on cloud nine. They looked exhausted getting off the buses when they got back home because they had just a long 3 days. But choir, in the meantime, has been winning and doing well. They've been going and performing. I just texted Ricky the ticket information for the football game could conceivably be out later tonight, but it's not out right now. We will play West Columbia in Smithville, and the boys are going to be on charter buses. They will have a couple of charter buses. Lucille's husband, Marky, has helped with that. He did a big donation, so we want to thank him next time we see him. Also, we're moving the men's and women's basketball games off of that Friday, so they're not conflicting with the football game. Both those programs have been doing really well too. And theater, Marianne was there. Anybody else go to the play Friday? Linda, you were there. I thought Peter and Wendy went very well, and the kids were excited afterwards. So that was a take on Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, all that. Good costumes, and the kids did a good job. So there's been a lot going on here recently. Very busy time. So, all right, not to be outdone by the students, the staff. Yasmin's here tonight. Yasmin Ingram, she is doesn't want to be honored. She looks very shy, and so we'll go easy on you, Yasmin. So Miss Penrod nominated you. She had lots of good things to say about her. Yasmin does a lot of translating for us. She does a lot of support and help of our not only of the teachers but the students in the classroom. And so Miss Penrod wrote a really nice nomination paragraph about her. She said, as a former ESL student, Yasmin brings a unique passion and understanding to these students, guiding them with empathy and insight only someone in her shoes can offer. When we face unfilled sub-jobs, Yasmin is there, stepping in to cover classes with confidence. She's always our go-to for translations, often lending her skills beyond regular school hours, even during the summer. And through it all, Yasmin's positive, can-do attitude sets an infectious tone. She's collaborative, flexible, and always ready with a warm smile. Yasmin, thank you for your dedication, your kindness, and the support you bring to our campus every day. We're deeply grateful to have you as part of our team. So, Ms. Penrod wanted to really honor you tonight, Yasmin. And, you can pay her later. So, we've got a certificate for you. I gotta get the drag at this. I forgot to get him to sign it right quick. And then we will come up and take your picture for the newspaper. And Susie, will you come up too?
Sure, as long as you stand next to her, because that's going to be fun.
Yes, yes. I won't be able to think I'm on the Harlem Globetrotters.
Poor Yasmin. I don't know. Sorry.
Thank you.
You can put it on your hip.
That's right.
I know, right?
That's right. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And Elizabeth, you don't have to stay.
Thank you.
no one here for public comments, we'll go straight on to the hearing for the first financial integrity rating system of Texas.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Tonight we're going to do the presentation, discuss and disclose the district's annual schools first report. This report is prepared and issued by TEA, and the data that y'all got and that we're going to look at is from the 22-23 school year. So they take a year to get it prepared, and then they don't give it to us until the start of the next year. So we're talking about 2 years ago. But in that, our school district received a perfect score of 100 with superior achievement. So there are 21 indicators for this schools first. And if y'all don't know, schools first means, I can't tell you off the top of my head. It is, what does it mean?
The Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas. And it's extremely riveting.
Yeah.
We're going to go over all indicators in great detail and length here.
No, not unless you want me to. There are 21 indicators, and each one has a different weight, and it goes in a different category, and there's kind of different hurdles to get over. But we made 100, so there was nothing that we did not hit superior on. So if y'all will allow me, we'll just roll to the very end, and I'll just give you the summary of the indicators so that you can understand how we got where we are. So there are 4 questions to start with. And those questions are, were we on time with our submission for our audit? Did we exhibit an unmodified opinion? Did we have compliance with all debts, terms, and agreements? And did we make timely payments to all the government entities? So if you get, those are yes or no. If you get a no on any of those, you automatically fail. So we got yes on all of those, so we moved down into the next category. The next category is the ceiling indicators, and they are not in order of the 21. So it's like number 4, number 16, number 20, which is why I'm just going to give you a quick overview of them. But those are, another one, do you have timely payments, and did you have to have issue a warrant hold? Did you have an average change in your fund balance? Were all your PEMS data put in correctly? Did you have any material weaknesses? Were your property values and taxes discussions appropriate? And did you have a repayment plan if you had to borrow money? So those were the 6 ceiling indicators, and you either hit the ceiling or you don't hit the ceiling. So in all of those, we hit the ceiling and we surpassed. So we got all points in that. And then there were a few other little things sprinkled here and there, but we got a perfect score on all of them. So I will say that this is a report that I know a lot of you have heard about all the schools in the area with deficit budgets. That is one of the first 4 indicators. So anybody with a deficit budget is going to automatically fail their school's financial integrity report when it gets to this school year. So just FYI on that. But we passed. The finance team and Mr. Frazier did an excellent job as always. I'm just presenting their hard work. And so that's all I have to say about that. I don't think there's any public comments.
I'll just add that, even I read an article recently, Belton's $8 million in the hole. I think I read today Duncanville's $5 million in the hole. And there's a lot of districts this last November election that tried to go for the golden pennies, and it failed miserably. A lot of those were shot down. And so
I think it's interesting that a lot of the communities don't know anything about why these schools are all in the hole. Not so much has been said about it. I have a friend who teaches in Victoria, and they had a playoff game last week, and they just had an announcement that the band, drill team, cheerleaders, and pep squad would not be going because they did not have the money. And the community just went berserk. Why don't you have the money? Why didn't you budget? And they don't understand that, learning comes first. And so a bunch of people in the community got together and raised money to get the band and all of them to the game. Somebody donated lots of money. But this is not funny. It's something that people need to be made aware of. And it has to do with the powers that be in Austin, Texas. And that's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely. Do y'all have any questions on this report?
Very, very impressive.
They did a great job.
Okay.
The next is all consent agenda. Minutes of October 21st, minutes of October 28th, training, financial statements, bills and payroll, budget amendments, year-to-date budget amendments, vital signs, and health food service report. Do any board members want any of those pulled? Do I hear a motion that we accept them all? Charles? Do I hear a second? Okay, Cheyenne? Any further discussion? All in favor of accepting the consent agenda? All right, the next items are for information, and we'll start with intermediate cafeteria.
This is, like I said, just an information item. We are going to go out for bid for the serving line at the intermediates. You've heard Mr. Frazier talk about the Fund 240, the cafeteria fund, lots of times in the past. And the Texas Department of Agriculture actually requires you to have, you can't maintain too high of a balance. You can't turn it into a savings account and just continue to grow that account. You have to have a spend down plan every year. And we've exceeded that point where we have to have a spend down plan. And Emily Coward developed a spend down plan at the end of last year, got it approved by the Texas Department of Agriculture. And part of that plan was to replace the cafeteria serving line at the intermediate. The reasoning for that is, and the reason we picked that campus and that serving line, some safety issues. There's a couple of water leaks in that area, and it's there's electrical outlets underneath it. And so that creates a slip hazard and an electrical hazard. And so we're gonna go out for bid, so hopefully starting tomorrow, get the information to the newspaper to run this weekend. It's gotta run 2 times. And the project will cost an estimated $100,000. And this money will come from the Fund 240, it won't come from local funds. It's money we have that we have to spend down, that we're required to spend down. And so when we get all the bids in, we'll bring those the winning bid back to you based on the rubric, and then you get to sign off and say, yes, that's what we want to spend that money on. So this is just information. Question?
Thank you.
Dr. Pollard has excused me to cut out early to go to a basketball game.
Yeah, keep us notified.
Now we have action items, and the first is investment officers.
Tonight I need to present to y'all the investment policy and get it renewed for the year. And as I was preparing for that, I realized that we have to have a portion in there where the investment officers get changed. So we can remove Daryl and put myself on there. So this first item of approval is just asking y'all if I can take and remove Daryl Frazier. Dr. Pollard is already on there, and add myself as part of the investment policy as your official investment officers.
Do I hear a motion? Cheyenne, a second? Okay, does anybody have any questions? Okay, all in favor? Okay, you're approved.
All right, so I'm going to move on to the investment policy itself. So each year we have to do that. We have it done by TASB. They give us all the local and legal jargon that we need to have that. So nothing much has changed on it other than there was an update to the legal section, and I've got it highlighted in there for y'all, but it's just a few pieces. But basically this investment policy says that y'all allow us to have up to $5 million invested, and then we have to follow these legal terms for it. And right now we have about $4.25 million invested. And so right now that's doing pretty good, and it's bringing in about $70,000 in interest for us every month. So yay to Dr. Pollard and Mr. Frazier for investing so wisely, because that's really helping us out. So my recommendation is that y'all approve the district's investments policy as presented, unless you want me to go item by item with those highlighted changes.
Does anybody want an item by item? Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve this investment policy? Okay, Lloyd. I hear a second. Linda, any discussion? All in favor? Okay. Redemption resolution for certain outstanding Gatesville ISD unlimited tax school bond.
That's a fancy way of saying we're working on paying an extra bond payment in February. So we've already presented this to y'all. This piece is the second piece that in the requirements that just issues a piece of paper that tells our bondsmen that we're going to be doing this. So So that's what redemption resolution is. But it's just basically giving y'all's permission for the bondsmen to be aware that we're gonna do that extra $500,000 payment. So I'm recommending that y'all approve this resolution.
Do I hear a motion for approval of redemption resolution? Linda? A second? Cheyenne, any further discussion? All in favor? Okay.
We're rolling
Deferred
these.
funds.
Okay, last year when we got the golden pennies voted on and approved, we ended up with that $1.3 million for last year that we didn't expect to have for the budget. This year, the golden penny money is rolled into our budget. But last year we had that surplus because we got it in November, and we had had those campaign of all the items that we were going to try and do with that money, which most of them we got done. But we do have some that didn't get finished last school year. And so what I'm here asking is, can I have that remainder of that money rolled over into this year to finish fulfilling those campaign promises that we did? So out of that 1.3 million, we have 413,000 that we did not finish spending. That includes professional development for the campuses. Stefan Symptoms was done. We have some technology that we didn't get to finish with the Chromebooks as they're coming to end of life. We had a little bit of the intercom systems and the baseball field bathrooms that we did not, and then we had some money left over for like AC units for the buses and stuff like that that we did not finish spending. So it isn't extra money, it isn't part of our budget, it is the money that was left over last year that we did not spend yet, and we're trying to continue to spend it down. So I am asking approval to continue to spend that money and finish it off from that golden pennies, 1.3 million.
Do I have a motion to approve that? Lloyd? Second? Linda? Any further discussion of that money? All in favor? Okay, electrical contract.
Probably what I'm most excited about is the restrooms at the baseball field.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all been out there, but that singleton, sorry little restroom for the men and the women, and there's barely anything out there. And so what we did was we took that nicer, newer portable that was close to DAP, and we plopped it down on the old concrete foundation where the old greenhouse used to be. And then Toby has outsourced some plumbing, and I went out there a couple days ago, and it's really nice restrooms for women and men, lots of urinals, lots of stalls, lots
Good.
for everybody. So finally, baseball will have some good
We have a
news.
lot of people who attend those games.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have Central Appraisal District, no, electrical contract.
Last one for me. Mr. Frazier started working on this before he left, and so I'm trying to finish it up. He was looking at getting our electrical contract for 2027 set up while the prices were still lower. They're supposed to be doubling in the next year or two. And so he was working with a group called Energy Conservative, United Commercial Energy Partners, so USEP is what we call it. And they're basically a broker that the electrical companies have put together, so it's no cost to us, but he works on getting bids and helping you get the lowest rate possible. So I continued on with that. Our current electrical contract is not out until April 30th of 2027, and right now we're at 4.19 cents a kilowatt hour. The average commercial right now is 9 cents a kilowatt hour. And so with the help of this brokerage company, we got 3 bids. And so we have picked one, and I want to present it to y'all tonight to see if it is okay with y'all. And I realize we're looking farther in the future, but we feel like it is the best time, if y'all are on board, to go ahead and do it now. So the one that we thought looked the best was Shell Energy, and they are offering us 6.29 cents a kilowatt hour for 84 months. So that's 7 years, and it wouldn't start till 2027. However, we have a caveat in that contract that says should prices go down unexpectedly, like they don't think, we have the ability to go back and renegotiate our kilowatt hour price. So we felt like that was kind of something in our back pocket, an ace in the hole, so to speak. That way if we get 5 years down the road and prices have really dropped, that we can go back and say, all right, this is not what we expected it to be and we would like to renegotiate. So we had some that were less years. We had some without that negotiation piece. We had Amper Energy, NRG Energy, and Shell Energy that gave us the best deals. And so this is the one that we are presenting to you. If you don't like this one, we can show you what some of the other ones look like, but this is the one we felt was the best bang for our buck, and we would like to lock it in now, even though that's 2 years from now. So, questions?
This is similar to what we do with the gas, where you're trying to hedge against the volatility of the market. And you never know when it's going to skyrocket or plummet. And so I do like that caveat that if it does plummet and inflation actually goes down, we could renegotiate.
Any further questions? Do I hear a motion to approve the contract? Lloyd? Do I hear a second? Cheyenne? Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Leanne.
Thank you.
Central Appraisal District Board of Directors.
All right, every year we nominate someone. I think the last board meeting we nominated Andy Davis, and then Andy James. And at this board meeting, we get to actually allocate our votes. And so the last few years, we've been giving all of our 745 votes to Andy James. And it's the similar list of candidates, and the school district has always supported Andy. And so if you guys feel that that's the best way to go, I would recommend that we just allocate all 745 votes toward Andy James, and then he would continue to serve on the Carroll County Central Appraisal District Board of Directors. And he's a graduate of Gatesville and a real estate mogul. So.
Any questions about Andy? Do I hear a motion that we accept him as on our Board of Directors report for all of our votes? Linda? Do I hear a second? Floyd? Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay. Issue of certificate of election.
These last three are some housekeeping items that Mackenzie's going to help us through. So even though we didn't have to have an election, we need to swear in our incumbents, let them do the oath of office and all that good stuff.
Certificates. That's your statement, and then you guys will have to read the oath. The statement you just read and sign. The statement says you weren't paid, you didn't agree to anything. Whenever you come into office, there's your there's your certificate, statement to sign.
Thank you.
Charles, you're not colluding with Russia, are you?
Just was China.
This is your oath, you have to stand up and read it. I thought one at a time. Tara made y'all do it together simultaneously, and I felt that was difficult when I watched the video from last year.
Hey, what you want to do?
So if you want to stand up and read yours, then Miss Maxwell can read hers.
Okay. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, I, Charles Alderson, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of the Gatesville ISD School Board Trustee of the state of Texas, and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God. I do.
Perfect.
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, I, Linda Maxwell, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of School Board Trustee of the state of Texas, and will, to the best of my abilities, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
Thank you.
Easy enough. Mackenzie, do you need anything else from them?
Well, we can sign it. We can finish it up here in a minute.
Okay.
There being no other items on the agenda, the board is, meeting concludes at this time, and there is no executive session, so good night to all.
Thank you, guys.